Medieval medical history continued. Chapter 1, Part 3. They cut hair, practiced bloodletting, opened abscesses, pulled teeth, and occasionally did amputations, all with the same razor. The Roman tradition of hospitals continued, but public health and personal hygiene was gone. The environment was overrun with disease. Famine and population movement due to wars increased the problems. Typhus was flourishing due to the custom of wearing the same underclothing, which was often infested with fleas. Tuberculosis was endemic due to poverty and food shortage. Tuberculosis of the neck was common, and its principal remedy was the king's touch. In 1 month in 1277 AD, Edward I touched 543 persons attempting to effect a cure. Smallpox was returned to Europe by the Crusaders in the 13th century, causing at least 20 epidemics. Danish ships even spread the disease to Iceland. Two of the greatest medieval diseases, however, were leprosy and the bubonic plague. Leprosy was present in the early centuries, brought perhaps by the Roman soldiers. It was one of the few diseases recognized as being contagious, but was believed to be a result of sins against God. The afflicted were herded into leper houses outside the towns, forbidden to marry, proclaimed dead citizens, and ordered to wear a black cloak with white patches. In 1313, King Philip the Fair wanted to burn them all, but was forbidden by the church. Incidences of leprosy decreased with the coming of the Black Death, or the bubonic plague, which killed many lepers. Black Death was a term used to describe the dark, mottled appearance of the corpse due to hemorrhages beneath the skin. In 1905, it was determined that this disease was caused by a bacillus which grew in fleas of infected black rats. The disease was devastating. Symptoms included sudden shivering, headache, vomiting, and pains in the abdomen and limbs, followed by delirium. Large, painful boils appeared at the body joints and, unless treated, proved fatal in 5 days. Other variations included the pneumonic plague, which affected the lungs, causing death in 3 days, and the septicemic plague, caused by direct bacillus injection into the blood by the flea, which caused death within 24 hours. The plagues probably began after flooding drove rodents inflicted with fleas from their habitats. China reported 13 million deaths. The plague traveled to India, Asia Minor, Egypt, and North Africa. An army fighting for a trading port realized they were becoming infected, catapulted their infested corpses into the port, and fled homeward to Sicily. The same sequence occurred in other areas, thereby carrying the plague into other ports. By 1352, all Europe, Iceland, Greenland, and Russia were infected. The plague was blamed on a corrupt atmosphere, foul vapors created by Jupiter, infection from decomposing bodies of a plague of locusts, and the most favored, invisible arrows shot by Christ. All were attributed to the wrath of God. Finally, the Jews were blamed. All Jews living in Switzerland and Germany, approximately 28,000 people, were put in wooden buildings and burned alive. Before it subsided, it is estimated that 30% of the total European population died. There were 4 additional outbreaks before the end of the 14th century. In medicine and international history, Hastings states, "Infectious disease has been a more deadly enemy to man than war." Hence the ghastliness of the modern concept of bacteriological warfare. The Black Death was not forgotten, and fear of the plague was an important motivation to stimulate a return to medical learning.